How movies keep recycling the same stories over the decades. Movies are frequently viewed as a window into human creativity, providing novel viewpoints and compelling narratives that transport us to far-off locales, test our limits, and stir up strong feelings. However, there is a secret reality that lies beneath the magic of filmmaking. Many of the beloved stories are not truly unique. As a matter of fact, Hollywood has a lengthy history of reusing the same themes, storylines, and character arcs for decades on end. There is no denying the recurrence of stories, from epic hero adventures to traditional fairy tales reinterpreted in contemporary settings, complete with modernized graphics and technology. Why does this occur? Fundamentally, it's because these well-known stories resonate with common human emotions like love, hope, fear, retaliation, and redemption, which is what makes them ageless. No matter the era, audiences connect with them. Filmmakers are aware that relatable and cozy narratives like as the conflict between good and evil, the ascent of the underdog, or a voyage of self-discovery appeal to audiences. Even in new packaging, stories that audiences are familiar with provide them with comfort. You'll watch that certain cinematic formulae hold true even as technology develops and trends shift as we examine how films continue to tell the same stories. These tales, whether they take the shape of reboots, remakes, or contemporary reimaginings, are still popular because they speak to the universal human psyche. Come learn how directors create new films based on well-known stories. 1. The journey of the hero, the all-pervasive search for victory. With its origins in mythology and immortalization in film, the hero's journey narrative structure is one of the most enduring storytelling frameworks in cinema history. The hero sets out on a mission, encounters overwhelming obstacles, and returns changed. This classic storyline never fails to enthrall viewers, whether it is found in blockbusters of today or ancient mythology. This is best illustrated by George Lucas's Star Wars trilogy, which was heavily influenced by Joseph Campbell's The Hero with a Thousand Faces, a book that describes the hero's journey as a mythological framework. Luke Skywalker, the main character on a route of exploration, hardship, and finally victory. A similar story was told decades earlier in The Wizard of Oz 1939, in which Dorothy sets out on a quest, encounters obstacles, and comes home changed. The hero's journey is a basic theme that is reused across genres and eras, whether it is in animated films like The Lion King 1994, The Matrix 1999, or Harry Potter 2001. This suggests that certain storytelling patterns are universal. 2. The everlasting romantic predicament of love triangles. The love triangle in which two characters compete for the affections of a third is one of the most often used plot devices in movie history. This dynamic is a compelling and frequently utilized storytelling device because it naturally generates tension and conflict. Love triangles have been a common plot device in a variety of films over the years, including action-packed blockbusters and romantic dramas. Classic instances include the famous romantic triangle formed by Rick, Ilsa, and Laszlo in Casablanca 1942, and the division of Scarlett O'Hara's emotions between Ashley Wilkes and Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind 1939. The love triangle motif has been recycled in more modern movies like Twilight 2008, The Hunger Games 2012, and Titanic 1997, demonstrating the formula's continued effectiveness. This recurrence highlights the universal allure of love, the emotional stakes involved when characters have to decide between loyalty and passion and envy. 3. The never-ending war between good and evil. The age-old conflict between right and wrong is among the most fundamental and frequently told tales in movies. Numerous movies depict this timeless duality, which usually follows a formula in which the protagonist, representing the forces of good, faces the villain, representing the forces of evil. While earlier movies like The Adventures of Robin Hood 1938 or High Noon 1952 did the same within their own genres, more recent films like The Lord of the Rings 2001, The Dark Knight 2008, and Star Wars 1977 show this conflict on enormous, often epic stages. Even beloved animated films like The Lion King 1994 and Beauty and the Beast 1991 depict this moral struggle, clearly defining good and bad characters. No matter how many times the story is told, a basic human need to see justice done is reflected in this constant struggle in movies. 4. The dream of transformation, from rags to riches. Since the beginning of film, the tale of the underdog who overcomes adversity to become wealthy and successful has been a mainstay in motion pictures. Stories of this kind give viewers hope that they too may accomplish greatness by appealing to the global aspirational ideas of the American dream and other comparable themes. Charlie Chaplin's The Kid 1921, in which a destitute dad and his adoptive kid navigate a harsh world, is among the first and most well-known examples. Many years later, the pattern was used again in movies with heroes who overcome hardship to succeed, such as Rocky 1976, Slumdog Millionaire 2008, and The Pursuit of Happiness 2006. Disney's Cinderella 1950 is one animated film that narrates a similar tale of rags to riches. This story is timeless and current because of the attraction of change and upward mobility. 5. The Story of the Underdog. Overcoming odds to triumph. The underdog story is a classic that keeps coming up in movies, much like the hero's journey. People enjoy cheering for the underdog, the unusual winner or team that has to overcome enormous odds in order to win. Many times, viewers can relate to this story because they can relate to the protagonist's trials and eventual success. Classic sports underdog tales, such as Rocky 1976 and The Karate Kid 1984, feature characters who overcome adversity to reach success. Similar topics have been explored more recently in The Blind Side 2009 and Rudy 1993. Beyond the realm of athletics, movies such as The Social Network 2010 and A Beautiful Mind 2001 showcase individuals who achieve success in spite of being underestimated. The underdog narrative, which is still one of the most popular and rehashed movie plots ever, appeals to the spirit of perseverance in people. 6. Crime stories seeking retribution. Another storyline that keeps coming up in movies is the notion of retribution. A person who has been harmed by a powerful person craves revenge and frequently sets out on a perilous quest to put things right. Stories of revenge can be found in a variety of genres, including dramas, superhero movies, westerns, and thrillers. A man takes the law into his own hands in 1974's Death Wish after his family is attacked, which paved the way for a series of retaliation movies in the years that followed. Based on both martial arts movies and westerns, Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill series 2003 to 2004 is a contemporary version of the vengeance story. A similar subject may be seen in the 2000 film Gladiator, in which the main character seeks revenge on the dishonest emperor who ruined his family. The fact that revenge stories are still being written shows how appealing justice and moral vengeance are even when they are carried out in unusual ways. 7. Dystopian futures. The retelling of society's worst nightmares. Films with dystopian themes, which show terrifying futures in which society has fallen apart or adopted totalitarianism, have been popular for many years. These films frequently mirror modern anxieties about the future, whether they are related to technology, autocratic regimes, the collapse of the environment, or the decline of society. Historical dystopian films such as Metropolis 1927 and 1984-1956 caution viewers against the perils of unbridled authority and the dehumanization of the populace. Films like The Hunger Games 2012, Divergent 2014, and Blade Runner 2049-2017 have revisited these themes in recent years, adding contemporary fears to them. These movies frequently examine how individuals or small groups oppose repressive governments. This is a story that people find relatable in these unsettling times. Filmmakers continue to draw from the same hopes and concerns that have molded these stories for millennia by repurposing apocalyptic themes. Conclusion: while styles, technologies, and presentations in movies may change over time, many nevertheless adhere to the same classic patterns that have enthralled viewers for decades. These recurrent themes, such as the hero's journey, the traditional love triangle, or a tale of revenge, showcase our shared interest in narratives that capture the universal experiences of people. The magic of cinema is in its capacity to reimagine the known and hold our attention, even while filmmakers continue to experiment with fresh approaches to these timeless tales. We may appreciate the ways in which art mirrors life and the ways in which stories from the past continue to impact entertainment from the present day more fully when we comprehend how movies reuse stories. In the end, what's important are the novel viewpoints and inventive inventions that give these timeless cinematic traditions new vitality rather than merely the repetition. Let us know in the comments what you think about how movies keep recycling the same stories over the decades, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.